I mean, obviously your character it does play a major role in the book, but it's expanded a lot in the film.
Yeah.
Did that develop at all once it got made from 2 films into 3?
We added lots of bits that sort of just helped the story progress, and sometimes just little scenes that would help, especially with Bard. There's quite a few new scenes we shot that are in this film, which absolutely seeing them in the film were valid and the right thing to do.
Kind of filling in his place at Lake Town. And
yeah, we wanted to, the Black Arrow issue was always difficult. How was he going to get the Black Arrow, and where did he get it from, and why does he not speak of it and all that? So we got the arrow, we hid it in the kitchen, and it's been there the whole time, and the kids didn't know it was there, and that's what that was a new scene, and that sort of works very well, I think. I love that scene when Bilbo's he looks one way and then he looks the other way and he sees like the tail moving, and you go, oh my God, this thing's enormous.
That's just one tiny part of the dragon.
It's brilliant idea. It is a tragic story. It's an epic, sweeping tale of tragedy and sacrifice, and I mean, it's without spoiling the third movie. The wheels are in motion, and it's quite terrifying what's about to happen.
Luke Evans, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today. How are you?
Very good, Rory. You?
I can't complain. Congratulations, first of all, on 2013. You were the bad guy in one of the biggest films of the summer, Fast and Furious 6.
Yes.
And now you're going to be in what is undoubtedly going to be the biggest film of the winter, the Desolation of Smaug. How has this year been for you?
Amazing, actually. It's funny when you shoot films out, they were shot a year ago, and The Hobbit even longer. So you forget that they both were going to come out in the same year. So it's been a massive year for me, and a very exciting year. And it's nice to be part of something that was liked, and was successful. It's not always the case.
I have to confess, I haven't read The Hobbit books. I was a big fan of The Lord of the Rings, but I hadn't read The Hobbit books. Were you a fan of them yourself?
It's only one book, actually.
That's correct, yeah.
You'd think there was 3 because there's 3 movies, but actually it's just one book, and it's a brilliant story. You should read it. It's wonderful. Unless you don't want to spoil the ending. Yeah, you might want to wait.
So if you have read the book before, do you find that knowing the material beforehand would influence how you play a character, or...
Well, I think it'd be foolish to play a role in The Hobbit without having read Tolkien's book, because it's such a beautiful book. It's beautifully written and very imaginative, and the characters are so well drawn that you'd be foolish to not do that. So I did read it, but the script is so different and so much going on in the script that I referred to the script almost immediately when I got to New Zealand, and it was very easy to bring Bard alive. He's a fantastic character, so
Bard, I find in this movie, is one of the few almost purely good guys, because a lot of the other people in the film seem to be getting warped a bit by greed, or have already been completely warped by greed, and especially in Lake Town, Bard seems to be surrounded by these people who are just basically bad people. Is it difficult to play someone who is a good guy but is seen as the bad guy in the film?
Well, I think that's the whole point of Bard, is that you think he's one thing and then realise he's completely the opposite, and he doesn't really have an agenda. He just his only agenda, I guess, is to look after and protect his children. But he has a voice in the film because he is closely associated with the dragon. He's connected to this dragon in a very interesting way, and when he protests the dwarves' intentions, I think he has absolute right to say what he says, and he's an unlikely hero. He's forced into a position where he has to do something, but he's not the man. I don't think he thinks he's the man for the job.
Yeah.
Which is why you sort of warmed to him in the first place. This dude's like,
he's just trying to get by.
Yeah, he's got these 3 kids looking at him going, is the dragon going to kill us, Daddy? And he's going, God, what am I going to do? Oh, God, all right, give me the bloody bow and give me the arrow and I'll do something. But I don't even think, even at that point, that he thinks he's going to do it. He doesn't think he's going to succeed, but he has no choice. And that's a very human, raw emotion, to just self-sacrifice and protect. And he's a wonderful man.
Absolutely. And as good as 2013 was, 2014 is going to be even bigger for you because you've been shooting Dracula Untold, I think, back in Ireland.
Yes.
And you have part 3 of The Hobbit coming out, and you're shooting the remake of The Crow.
That's right.
So it's a big year for you. When it comes to picking new projects, what is the one thing for you that's like, that's what I have to do? Is it like the people you're working with? Is it a script?
It's quite a few things. I mean, obviously the subject matter is something that I have to be interested in it. I mean, I don't just take a role because it's a big movie, or it's you know, the story has to trigger something in my mind, my imagination, and I want something that's going to challenge me, and I want to work with directors that are going to challenge me and that are brilliant, and their work speaks for itself. And you know, I look for those roles, and they're hard to find sometimes. But that's how it works, I guess. It's also doing something different. You know, I don't want to keep playing the same roles. That's why, you know, one minute I'm a bad guy, next minute I'm a good guy, next minute I'm a Greek god, and I'm a vampire. I'm mixing it up. You know? It's interesting for me, and it's interesting for, you know, the people watching the films. You know, I want to just keep it interesting. I think that's the main point, and challenge myself and work with people that I respect and admire, which I'm obviously working on this film ticked up all of those boxes.
Yeah. Luke Evans, thank you so much. Thanks for talking.
The script is brilliant. Jeff Dorfman has been writing it, and we're still tweaking it now. And what we want to do with it is not just do a remake, because the original was brilliant, and what we want to do is tell the story and bring parts of the original source material into the film that was not done in the first time round. So there's an awful lot, and there's characters that were never put in the first movie. We're trying to keep it as true to the original story as possible, and we have a fantastic team of people on it. Javier Gutierrez is a wonderful, wonderful, sensitive director who cares so much about telling the story rightly and beautifully and sensitively. And I think that people who love the comic book character and the journey that Eric Draven goes on and the Crow goes on will be really happy with what we're doing, because it'll be a real joy for anybody who loved the film. I love the story because it's very loyal to that.
Obviously, one of the biggest challenges of the movie as a whole was Smaug. What did you think when you saw him on the big screen?
He's much, much bigger than even I was assuming he was going to be. Much, much bigger. And rightly so. I'm glad that he's that big, because I think he needs to be a real threat. You know, he can't just be as a dragon. He has to be an enormous beast of a creature, and so he is. He absolutely, Peter's delivered a brilliant animal that, you know, can terrify and annihilate. There's a huge moment for my character. It was incredible to shoot, so I'm hoping that relays over out of the screen to the audience next year.
Are there any scenes or moments that didn't make it into the final cut that you're hoping to see in the extended edition?
You know, it's interesting. I think because we now have the third film, lots of stuff that would have been left on the cutting room floor, which were very valid and important, have been picked back up and put back in the film, because we have time now to add all the little nuance that often, you know, when you're forced to cut a film to a certain time, you know, things just sadly get lost. And I think Peter's done a very good job at keeping lots of little vignettes of moments that, you know, we would maybe not have seen if this had been squashed into two films. But I can't remember anything specific. Maybe more so in the third film. But, you know, we'll talk about that next year.
When I interviewed you for Fast and the Furious some months ago, you told me that in New Zealand you practice some extreme sports. First of all, you told me, don't tell Peter Jackson. Can you talk a little bit about that, and what is with New Zealand? Why does it inspire you to do extreme sports?
I don't know why New Zealand, maybe it's the people. They like to, they're very physical, they're very outdoors sort of race, you know. They do a lot of outdoor sort of stuff, and swimming and sailing and rowing, and I jumped out of a plane at 16,500 feet in Abel Tasman Nature Reserve, which is a beautiful place, and then I hiked up a glacier, which is magical, extraordinary place in the South Island, a place called the Fox Glacier. But we didn't tell anybody about that.
Let's ask, what was the poster hanging on your wall when you were a kid? I'll give you 5 seconds.
I don't think I did have a poster on my wall.
You didn't? Okay.
No, I don't think I did. I really enjoyed Captain Phillips. I thought Mr. Hanks did a superb job, and I think the whole cast, the Somali cast were phenomenal. Blew my mind.
The last 4 years have been insane for you. You've had Clash of the Titans, Raven, Three Musketeers, Immortals, Fast and Furious, The Hobbit. They are huge films to be part of in such a short space of time. Was there one moment where you said, wow, things are really kind of changing for me now?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't stopped working. I have literally gone from one to the next. And I mean, I like to work, and I was quite a late starter in the movie business, so I felt like I had a lot of catching up to do, But it's been a chaotic 4.5 years.
Amazingly enough, you've gotten to immortalise the Welsh accent in this beautiful film.
Yeah.
Is it easier to kind of get into the character a little bit more when you get to keep your accent?
It is. Well, yeah, it's lovely. I mean, I've never done it before, so not on film anyway. But it's just nice to, because when you do accents, you have to think about them for, when you're doing them, making sure the intonation's correct and you're pronouncing everything correct. Well, when you do your own accent, you don't have to think about that at all. You just know that whatever comes out of your mouth is going to be right.
Yeah.
So it was quite freeing, quite liberating to just forget about the accent.
With the orcs and stuff. Yeah. Is it really hard to stay in character? Because they're genuinely frightening.
Oh, you wait till the third movie. They are terrifying.
They really are. Like, you must have had nightmares after filming with them all day.
And also, because they're amazing stunt guys, and I knew them as stunt guys, and they come up to you in costume and they're like, all right, Lou, you're like going, I don't know who you are. It's very funny, but no, they're amazing. I mean, but fighting, they're incredible what they did in those costumes.
You did get off quite lightly with all that, didn't you?
Oh, telling me, my goodness. I felt quite fortunate.
Yeah, you just swan on set.
Yeah, just had the hair, and the sideburns, fake sideburns.
There's a second guy that moves, and it... Oh, and that. Do that again. Do that again. Yeah.
They'd heard my accent. Peter, Fran, and Phil had heard my accent on an interview or something like that. I think online, and I think that's what sort of triggered their idea. So then they asked me to do a screen test with the accent, which was great, and it sort of fitted very well. No one else had a Welsh accent in the movie, so it sort of identifies Bard and it separates him from everybody else. So. He's trying to take my shirt off. He's trouble. He's trouble.
I want to be friends with the cheer.
Don't give him an espresso martini. That's what I've learned.
You can start. Come on, Smaug. Sounds like he's the best person to have on a press trip to me.
Oh yes, he's a lot of fun and an immensely talented guy. I mean, my God, incredible.
You can't not join in with his sing along.
No, and believe me, his sing-alongs go on for hours and hours. Yeah.
So last time we chatted to you, you were playing a bad baddie, and now you're quite a good goodie. Which end of the spectrum are you most comfortable in?
I don't think I'm less comfortable in either. I just quite enjoyed. It's nice to mix it up. You can't be a bad guy all the time, otherwise people, might get a bit bored of that, and I'd get a bit bored of it. So it was actually quite nice to mix it up, and Bard's sort of like he's not the quintessential good guy. He's quite sort of complicated in a way, and when he does do these amazing things in the film, sort of, I don't think he even thinks that he's capable of doing it. So it was interesting to play.
I like Bard. I thought he had quite a nice little swagger going on.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. Considering he's got 3 kids and he's a widow. I think he does all right for himself.
He's the Fonzie of The Hobbit.
He's the Fonz, yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah. So what are your favourite and perhaps least favourite things about him?
Well, he doesn't really change his clothes very much, so he probably stinks a bit, But then I think everybody stinks in Lake Town. It smells so bad there, I don't think anybody notices the smell. What I do like about him is his ability to pick up the baton, as it were, and run with it. He's a man of self-discovery and an unlikely hero, which is a great attribute.
I quite like the twist that you became the father of James Nesbitt's actual kids.
Yeah. And there's a scene when we're all in the same room. It's very odd. Very, very odd.
Only in Hollywood would this actually happen.
Yeah, completely. It's a great twist, though, and they're beautiful kids. They did such a great job. Everybody was, I mean, John, Mary and Peggy did such a brilliant job of, one, picking up the Welsh accent, and two, playing this very strong family unit. Bard's decisions in the film are all triggered by his love for his kids and wanting to protect them. So yeah, they did a really good job.
He's a sweetheart.
He is, right? Yeah.
Now on
we
the
love
topic
Bard.
of Bard, everyone's been doing their favourite 2 lines from Mariah Carey in their character's accent. It's been my favourite thing all day.
You want me to sing it, or
We've been doing spoken word, but you can sing it if you want.
you want me to sing it in Welsh?
Yes, do I? Yes.
I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need. I don't care about the presents underneath the Christmas tree. I just want you for my own. I'm singing American. All that you could ever know. Make my wish come true. Oh, all I want for Christmas is you. There you go.
It's perfection. You're my absolute favourite.
How was Ed's version of that?
Oh, we did a romantic dramatic reading.
Oh,
So I got
it.
I got an All I Want for Christmas Is You.
See,
So,
you just got
stop
a
it,
baritone
you
Mariah
plain
Carey
head
going on there.
Casanova. Very quickly, I've been having some problems with this dragon's name. I keep wanting to say Smaug.
We all did, and then we realised it was wrong. It's Smaug. Enjoy the A and the U. Smaug.
Enjoy them, embrace them.
You have to, otherwise you get a slap on the wrist.
Read an accent.
Yes.
There isn't like a Smaug.
Well,
No?
it depends where you're from.
No? In Wales, no.
No, Smaug.
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 Well, Luke, it's been a pleasure talking
Lovely
to you.
to see you.
Have fun in here.
Take care.
Hope you get a nice carby lunch.